Hi, welcome. Thanks for tuning in today. Today we're going to talk about what do we do when we make mistakes as a leader, whichever the position you are in, and whichever the business you are doing it. Now, all of us in our life do make mistakes, and if someone say that they never made a mistake, they're lying to you. So, what do we do, and what can we learn from the mistakes we do? Now, there are two aspects to it. Your own personal mistakes, it could be your personal, professional, in all areas of what mistakes you yourself make. It takes in many aspects of your life. And if you work in an organization, and there are times that, if you're leading 100 people, there are times that your team makes some mistakes, but then you as a leader would need to accept the responsibility, because end of the day you are the one who is answerable for those mistakes, that what you can learn and what your team can learn from those specific things. Now it's very important to differentiate and how you react for the mistakes which is happening around you. So it's very important for you to identify the root cause of that particular mistakes. It could be your personal or professional. So let's talk about your personal mistakes you make. It could be, a decision which cost you, or decision which cost the company, that you didn't have enough facts for that particular decision you take, and then there was a mistake happen. Obviously, the results are not the way it was expected. So you need to take that full responsibility and identifying what went wrong, and then we always come up with a better solutions for the future. Now, if it is to a different approach towards a team member, suppose if you're leading, as I mentioned last time, it's 100 people of team members you are leading, and then of course, if you delegate the task and things didn't go the way it should go, and then there was a mistake on your team member's part. See, accepting it in either cases is most important thing, and that's one of the greatest leadership qualities of any leader, that accepting the mistakes as it is, because the results are not in favor of, you can accept as a failure or it's a mistake. Since the result is not as favorable, so we need to think cool-headedly to see what can we do the same in order for us to improve for the next time. So accepting the responsibility, and taking the responsibility even if it's not your fault. See, for example, if you're, as I have mentioned, that if you're managing a team, there are times that some of the team leaders do make mistakes, but then you as a leader need to take a full responsibility, because maybe there is something went wrong, the way it should not go. So we need to take full responsibility even it's not your fault. That's one of the greatest attributes that leadership a leader should possess. Now, if it is a team, so we need to address what lessons you can learn and what lessons your team can learn from the specific mistakes what happened. So which is important. Maybe the event will pass away in a day or two, but then the results what had occurred will stay as it is, unless until we don't have a different approach towards that particular problem we had come across. So what lessons are you learning, or what lessons as a team learning? And then when we say learning, means it's not addressing to one person who had made a mistake. That is, if it is a teamwork, it's combined effort of everyone's which caused that particular result. So we need to address the problem, not the person. And see, there are attributes that you need to address. I mean, there are times that probably you communicate, the delegation has to be in such a way that things will go the way we should expect, the way it should go. But however, there are a lot of failures and a lot of mistakes do happen on a daily basis, which is a fact and which is a reality. And unless until you're working with the robots, probably still, it should go the way, because when you're working in interaction with the people, there are situations that things go wrong. So we as a leader need to address that. First of all, accepting the full responsibility. Secondly, to see what lessons you can learn so that you can delegate it much better. And maybe there are times you need to get a feedbacks, maybe you need to have a close monitoring tracking of how that particular project is moving on. So there are many things that you can do it by identifying what can you learn from that specific things. And most of the time we should focus is what is that one learning curve which is giving you to take a lesson from that particular mistakes and then move on. That's a part of life, that's part of your profession. And if you ask me, in last 20 years, in my industry, in the hotel industry where I worked, did I never make any mistakes? If I say I never made a mistakes, that means probably I'm lying to you bluntly. There are many mistakes I made, and I learned from it, I moved on. And particularly when you're working with the team members, the communication is very, very important. And even the smallest to the biggest things, smallest things that we assume that they will understand would be a mistake. These are the learning curves that I learned for a period of time. So unless until you are sure of your communication, assuming that person will know what is in your mind would be an mistake from as a leader from our side, irrespective of which position you may in. The wavelength can take time for a person to understand. Sometimes it takes a little longer than expected, sometimes it just take a quick, but then as long as you set an expectations, all these things can be um, controlled. So lesson of the day today is we all make mistakes. Let's accept it, and then when we make a mistake, taking full responsibility on what went wrong and how we can do it better for the next time. And then when you're working with the team members, addressing the problem, what can we do as a combined team work for us not to repeat for the future. And then more importantly, each and every mistake we made is a learning experience for us to grow in the future. With that, I would like to leave you today. Have a wonderful day ahead, and do leave your comments and thoughts and what do you think about accepting the mistakes. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you. Be good, do good, and influence people around. Thank you.